In Makurdi, Benue State, the river Benue flows peacefully through the town. Children run barefoot along the streets of North Bank, Wadata, and Wurukam, and life seems simple. But in St. Abraham College, one of the town's most respected schools, darkness was quietly festering behind polished shoes and neatly ironed shirts. At the top of this school stood Principal Turfa Ayondofa, a man tall, strict and disciplined, admired by parents and feared by students. Yet behind his respectable exterior, a horrifying secret waited to erupt. Sarah Irelium, a quiet, intelligent, and diligent final-year student at St. Abraham, lived with her mother in North Bank. She had dreams of finishing school and helping her family escape poverty. But over the past months, her once bright eyes had dimmed. She laughed less, avoided friends, and carried a secret so heavy that even her best friend, Linda, could not coax her to speak. Her nightmare began when Principal Turfa began calling her to his office under the pretense of extra lessons and special assignments. Slowly, what was meant to be guidance became manipulation, threats, and fear, until one Wednesday morning, Sarah collapsed during assembly, clutching her stomach in agony. The nurse confirmed her worst fear: she was pregnant. Silence gripped the school when asked who was responsible, and with trembling lips, Sarah whispered, I can't say." Rumors spread through Makurdi like wildfire. Some blamed boys from nearby neighborhoods, others whispered it was someone inside the school. An emergency staff meeting was called, but Madame Dushima, one of the teachers, noticed Principal Turfa's hands shaking. Soon, a crumpled note was found in Sarah's locker saying, "Keep quiet. Or else." Though she handed it to the principal, he dismissed it, tearing it apart, but Madame Dushima knew something was terribly wrong. Later, overhearing two male teachers discussing threats toward Sarah, her suspicion intensified. When she confronted Sarah, the girl revealed that if she spoke, her family would be destroyed, and all power lay in the principal's hands. Sarah even heard footsteps and a threatening whisper outside her window one night. Fear had become her shadow. When Sarah disappeared one night, leaving only her bag by the Idi River, panic seized the community. Parents and neighbors from Wurukam, North Bank, and High Level combed the streets and riverbanks until they found her hiding behind the school kitchen, weak and terrified. Surrounded by her mother, Linda, and Madame Dushima, Sarah recounted the principal's manipulation, threats, and secret office meetings. Her voice trembled, but for the first time, the truth had been spoken aloud. Makurdi erupted. The principal's house was surrounded, and when confronted, he could not deny the accusations. He was arrested, the school management suspended, and the community saw that evil hides behind titles and uniforms, but it cannot hide forever. Yet Principal Turfa's reach was not over. That night, a dark figure on a motorcycle observed Madame Dushima and Sarah, reporting back to him. Later, Madame Dushima was followed home by a motorcycle that tried to run her off the road. She narrowly escaped with the help of police, arriving at the station shaken but alive. Inspector Akosu, the officer in charge, revealed that similar cases had occurred at St. Abraham, but they were buried each time. He warned that Principal Turfa had powerful connections and that they needed solid evidence. The next night, Madame Dushima and Inspector Akosu approached the school in search of clues. In Principal Turfa's office, they discovered a steel cabinet filled with envelopes, flash drives, and photographs documenting Sarah and other girls, proof of the principal's crimes. Mr. Favor, the vice principal, claimed ignorance, but the evidence was undeniable. Then, without warning, the power went out, shadows moved across the compound, and a voice called out coldly, "Inspector Akosu. Madame Dushima, you people are very stubborn." It was Principal Turfa, standing beside a blindfolded, trembling Sarah. He threatened their lives, laughing eerily in the moonlight. Despite the fear, Inspector Akosu and Madame Dushima remained resolute. Police reinforcements arrived just in time, surrounding the principal and securing the school. With the evidence seized and witnesses ready, Principal Turfa was dismissed from his position, arrested, and charged for abuse of authority, misconduct, and endangering students. Sarah received care and support from her family, Linda, and Madame Dushima. 9 months later, Sarah gave birth to a healthy baby boy, naming him Turfa, a reminder that only God truly knows the pain endured and the strength required to survive. Sarah continued her education with the support of her community, donors, and NGOs, determined to rise above the trauma and help other girls speak up against abuse. The story of Principal Turfa became a cautionary tale in Makurdi, warning that authority misused will eventually lead to downfall, and truth, no matter how long it takes, will always find a way to surface. Sarah's courage, her family's determination, and the support of brave allies like Madame Dushima and Inspector Akosu proved that justice can prevail even against the most powerful, and that darkness, no matter how deeply hidden, can be illuminated. The people of Makurdi learned that protecting innocence is a community responsibility, and that those who abuse trust will eventually face the consequences of their actions. And so, life slowly returned to normal, but the story of Sarah Irelium, her resilience, and her triumph over Principal Turfa Aon Dofa would remain a legend in Makurdi for years to come.